Hey y'all, how you doing? Back out in the garage again. As you can see, I've got all my coveralls. These are my old worn out ones. Um, I'll just tell you, if you're doing this kind of work, working on vehicles and stuff like that, and building any kind of vehicle, and your garage is like mine, where you have no heat and you have no insulation, uh, yeah, you're going to need these. And I'm going to tell you this: uh, some folks like the long underwear. I myself, I prefer these when it gets cold outside because I can put these on and take them off pretty easily, and it's a lot more comfortable. All right, enough about that. Yesterday, I made a video about the new not vehicle, but new part I was going to go get. So here we go. Time for the unveiling. What I went and got. All right, the big unveiling of the mystery part. Okay, well, here we go. All right, ta-da! No, I'm teasing. It ain't that. Okay, here it is though. You see those three letters? Or sorry, letters, numbers. I'll tell you what. I'll go get a brush, a wire brush. I'll scrape them there a little bit so you can see them just a little bit better. Okay. Yeah, here we go. This is a Mopar 8 3/4 center section. It is the dropout center section, similar to like a Ford 9-inch. But as you can see, let's see, can I use this light here? I should be able to, if I can reach it. Let's see. 489. See it right there? I'm referring to the last three digits. These last three digits here of the casting number for the center section. All right, this, like I said, this is a dropout center section similar to like a Ford 9-inch. The thing here is to remember is that there are basically, when you start getting into Mopar like I have, there's basically three different center sections you're going to come across most. Okay, you're going to see the 741, 742, and the 489. The 741 is probably the least desirable, simply because it has the smallest pinion, and it also has the smallest diameter pinion, but it also has the least amount of parts available for it. So you're not going to find a whole lot of stuff for them. So like different ring and gear, different ratio gear sets for the ring and pinion, uh, and that sort of stuff, you're not going to find that as easily. Even some of the replacement parts, just general replacement stuff like bearings and seals, you're not going to find as easily. So my suggestion is, if you do come across one, you can buy them and you can use them. I've got several, but here's something to keep in mind. You know, uh, getting different gear ratios for them. There's only two available from, like, Motive Gear and Yukon and everything like that. And one of them is a 355 and the other one is a 373. Yeah, so you just have to work around what you got. Okay, so if you're like wanting a higher gear ratio than a 355, you need to be looking elsewhere. If you want something lower than 373, you need to be looking elsewhere. Okay. Now, one of the things that's the 742. The 742 is the one you're going to come across. One of them you're going to come across. It was in production probably, I'm not absolutely certain, but it was probably in production for quite some time. Probably longer than any of the rest of them. The 742 has more, way more stuff available for it. So, lockers, limited slip differential assemblies, gears, replacement parts, etc., etc., spools, everything. Way more. The 742 has more stuff available for it, but it also has a larger diameter pinion. Okay, so it will handle more power than the 741. The 741 was also used in a lot of the cars that had the tapered axle, the two-piece tapered axle that had the keyway. So you'll find those. If you see one of those rear ends, you're just about guaranteed that you will see one of them with a 741 carrier. All right, or 741 center section. Okay. Now, furthermore, the 489. The 489 came along later. I think about in the mid to late 60s. It was probably the last one in use in production. The 489 is also been. It also has the largest diameter pinion shaft. Okay, and that's what we have here. Now, just like I showed you on this one here, all of them, that 741, 742, 489, they're all going to be distinguished by the casting number. Almost all of them, the casting number's right there. Now, I said those three, 741, 742, and 489. Those are the ones you're going to come across most often. Now, that's not to say they didn't make any others, but that is to say that's the ones you're going to find the most often. Okay? The great thing, however, I know I've said some stuff about the 741 that wasn't that flattering, but the one great redeeming fact about the 741 is you'll probably find them most often, and they will be probably the least expensive. So there you go. But I need to get this thing out of here. All right, and I don't really have room to do it with where my truck is at right now. My truck is all the way back in the garage. I need to pull the truck forward just a little bit. One other little bit of information about these. The 742, 489 weren't used, at least from the factory, with the tapered two-piece keyed axle. Okay? Now, however, here's something to be aware of. There were some high-performance cars equipped with that axle assembly. So, if you see one of those axles, don't turn your nose up at the car thinking, oh, that's just a slant 6 or a 318. No, not entirely, brother. So another thing to be on the lookout for is that some of these weren't 8 3/4. Some of them were 8 1/4. Okay, and they were from like the 50s and that sort of thing. So don't be tremendously thinking that you've struck gold. Okay, but yeah, you may see those last three casting numbers, those last three, 741, 742, and 489. don't be surprised if you find one that is different, entirely different than what you're seeing. So, but anyway, all right, I'm gonna pause this and I'm gonna move the truck out just a little bit so I can get the tailgate down. Okay, be right back. All right, we're back, and I've got the truck pulled out just a little bit. I've got the tailgate down, and I've got, now I ran across this on Facebook Marketplace, and I just happened to be sifting or surfing around on Facebook Marketplace when I saw this. So, you know, it's kind of one of those deals where I saw it and I jumped on it. Okay. Fortunately for me, he had just posted this thing on here. So, pretty lucky find, I guess you could say. And I'm not going to say I'm some sort of, you know, I'm on there all the time looking for stuff all the time, but I just happened to come across this one. Now, here's something to keep in mind. I have seen some of these center sections going for as much as several $100s. I saw one guy had one for like $750 there. So, yeah, not cheap. And then I've seen some of these center sections empty, bare, nothing in them at all, and they're going for like $250, and they're used. I mean, sometimes it's really crazy what some of these people are, you know, asking for some of this stuff. It's like, really? You're wanting that kind of money for this? Yeah. How much crack you've been smoking, you know? So anyway, all right, let's get this thing out here. We'll get a better look at it, show you a little bit more about it. Okay. Now this has been outside of its housing for a little bit, so you're going to see a little bit of surface rust on some stuff, but I think everything's in actually really good shape. He went ahead, the prior owner went ahead and painted everything up, and I mean, tell you what, I'll let you see what I'm seeing here. I was just playing with the spider gears. Let's see, get this light where you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, spider gears look nice. Like I said, there's a little surface rust here and there, but it's nothing real serious. Now, as you can see, let's see, oh, right there it is. Yeah, 2.76. That's the gear ratio. Okay. So can you focus? I don't know if the camera can focus down on that or not. About 2.76. Yeah, so it's stamped right there on the ring gear. Okay. That's your factory ring gears. Now your aftermarket ring gears, I'm not so sure. Okay. Now one way you can tell though, if you can't find it on here, take and count the number of teeth on your ring gear, count the number of teeth on your pinion gear in there. Okay, that pinion gear looks nice too. Count the number of teeth on both, and when you have that number of teeth, have that number on both, you divide one into the other, it comes up with your ratio. Okay. Oh, let me show you one more thing about these housings. This little pad right here, that pad on the older housings has the number, the ratio number cast into it. So let's see. Paints. just trying to clean that off. Usually you will see the number stamped into that. Okay? Now, why they did that, I'm not sure. I'm thinking maybe that was a production thing. Maybe they did that right before they loaded the gear set in there, and they had that stamped on there. Somebody stamped it on there, and they would know, oh, hey, 276, bam. Or they had that stamped on there after they put the gear set in there, and then the person loading that center section into a housing would know, hey, 276. You know, maybe the housing would have something written on there with chalk or something, or wax pencil or something like that. But let me get some more aggressive sandpaper to clean that off, so you can see what I'm talking about. It's actually pretty neat. It's just a neat little thing I discovered years ago on my own, and set y'all up here so I'm not wagging you around here all over the place. Yep. I'll tell you, I don't think it's on this one. Yeah, now on some of the older housings, though, it is definitely on these pads. So I think I've even made a video about that before. So you can go back and check some of my older videos on that. But anyway, I'm just as pleased as punch about this. The only thing that would make this better, oh look, there's some of the markings from the factory right there on the end of the pinion gear. Hope you can see them there. The only thing that would make us any better is if I had gotten like a 373 or 391 gear or something like that. Yeah, that would be the only thing that would make this any better. So anyway, okay, yeah, but I got this really inexpensively. I scored a heck of a deal on it. And then also scored, while I was there, the owner had this. He saw the sliding glass rear window in my truck, and I had this, and he said, hey, I got one of them. And he brought it out, and he said, you want to buy it? And I was like, yeah, sure. I said, how much you want? He said, just give me $20. I was like, okay. So, yeah, couldn't believe it. Couldn't hardly believe that. But anyway, so yeah, I'm pretty surprised about that too. So anyway, a lot going on here. Really excited about that. But yeah, this was like had to take a bit of a trip into Kentucky to go get this, both pieces. You know, not a big haul, but you know, significant. So I'm really, really just happy as can be. Can't be happier. So anyway, all right. So I thank you all for watching, and I hope you've had, been able to learn a little bit about these. Also, if you have any questions, comments, ideas, anything about these, put them down below. I'll be glad to answer any questions you got about them. Oh, also too, thank you to all of my subscribers. The number just keeps getting larger, and it still keeps mystifying me. I'm like, wow, you people are actually subscribing to what I'm putting out. Kind of a mystery. But okay. Anyway, thank you very much, and God bless. Have a great one.